What is your favorite Reddit post of all time? That guy who pretended he didn't know what a potato was. Though I think I read another comment that it wasn't an original story but actually from a sketch comedy show or something. It's still funny though. The one where the guy kept taking pictures of how he took pictures with more and more ridiculous camera setups. I wouldn't even know how to look it up, but it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. You like that? You. Today you. Tomorrow me. I think the park ranger no sleep stories are really awesome. I know that's basically a saga of posts, but you get the point. That post. Where Op got so high off of Xanax that he tattooed a sketchy drawing of Charmander onto his chest. Does anyone have a link to that? The one that always makes me laugh is a post on tattoo that started of innocently enough of people posting pictures of their hand tattoos. A guy took a photo of his hands and was asked how he had done that, so he posted a photo of how he had done that. Then someone asked, but how did you take that photo? It went on for about 6 different angles. The ones about those random staircases in the woods creeped me out. Toss up between socks. And the recent one where the guy's girlfriend broke up with him because she buried all his beans in the woods and he got mad. No more 0 days. I go back and read that a lot. It's inspiring as the guy on the obnoxious kid's face. The initial blast was mighty and boisterous. I swear I saw his hair blowing in the wind, so to speak. If I wasn't wearing jeans, I think it could have probably blown over an empty soda can. I would call it a very fun A++ would buy again. However, what immediately followed that out the chamber was truly horrifying. The fart's implication changed without notice and swiftly. It went from a joyous, dry air horn squeal to a nefarious, hissing mephitis. I think the little moppet noticed the hateful metamorphosis before even I did, because he wrenched his neck violently trying to get away from the personified evil being fumigated into his soul. Because of his positioning, hovering over the toy, hands and knee. It was all in vain, as the only way out was forward, and forward would mean certain death. I had positioned myself well on the higher ground, free to escape or relent at any time, in him, poor and immobilized, biding his time until the cruel attack was over. Obviously, this child needed to reread Sun Tzu. Sub guy on Aida. Partly because I hope he got some help. Any post that ended. In 1998 The Undertaker threw mankind off in a cell. And plummeted 16 feet through an announcer's table. Hoy por ti. Mañana por mi. Don't have a link, but there was a guy who thought rub one out meant getting high. He would tell his friends he would meet up with them after he rubbed one out, or he had to leave to rub one out. Read it a couple nights ago on another AskReddit thread. The only thing I remember is the phrase Kentucky, and I think about it at least 3 times a day now. I don't have a link, but the one where the Navy officer shifts the whole container to get the sun off of his eyes in the morning. Hilarious. The subject was sci-fi movies. Godzilla, Jurassic Park, etc. This guy, I'm guessing kinda drunk, says, "You know, I can almost always tell when they use fake dinosaurs." I think that this was on Reddit, but I'm not too sure. There was this one dude who ordered a burrito and they built in sections. I quote him saying, "You built this thing like a pack of lifesavers." I was hollering when I first read it. Not a Reddit post, but years ago there was a subreddit called The Button. Someone started a button that counted down from 60s. Every 10s were color-coded. You could only click stop the button once, and the time color you stopped at became your flare. The first day it couldn't get past 58s because everyone clicks non-stop. Within a week or so it occasionally got to 40s, but it was always clicked. There were so many groups of people branching out. The filthy whites who never clicked the holy button. The rare 20s blues who clicked a rare button. The 58's orange pack who all regret clicking on THR first day. It's the reason I made a Reddit account. Just so I could click the button. Turns out it was that year's Reddit April Fool's joke, and I was part of this joke with thousands of people. Made me realize how uniquely interesting Reddit is compared to 4chan or 9gag. The kid who tried lots of different things with rice. He's very funny. It was an AskReddit thread. I believe. Ages ago there was a post on NoFap or Pornfree. I can't remember which. Where a guy stops himself from fapping by screaming at his and literally punching it. It's one of the funniest things I've ever read, and if someone can find it for me I would be forever in your debt. The one TIFU about the guy jerking it to his sister-in-law's VR and wife catches him. Wife's edit was hilarious. It sure if fake. But a good story. This has turned into my favorite Reddit thread. Thank you for hours of laughs, tears, and inspiration. I will be returning for months to come. It's about a chef who worked during Valentine's Day where a guy asked to place a ring in a champagne glass or something a week before. He placed it in a locker. His boss took the ring and decided to give it his wife as gift. This chef phoned his boss, asked the bartender to show some tricks to keep them entertained and take his car off, went to his home, and came back to the restaurant and saved the day, and the guy proposed and she said yes. Wholesome. The one I read the other day on Nice Guys where the incel was saying that if a girl was stuck with an abusive partner during quarantine then she chose the assault because she wasn't with him. It's my favorite because it is the worst thing I have ever read. This one guy posted a screenshot of another guy telling the story on how he left his wife and disabled children because he was so unhappy to become a truck driver with his happy now dog. He basically said after he left, life was good. The dog's more happy. He's lost a lot of weight. And his loves it when he gets off the truck and lets his dog roam around a new place every time and seeing how happy he is. He also said how surprised he is at the fact his wife hasn't sued him for child support or something like that. I can't remember how long he said it's been since he left. The foo where a guy and his wife went to Colorado and bought edibles. Dude ate too many and tripped balls while at dinner with the wife's parents. I laugh every time I even think about that one. The one about the two neighbors having a days-long argument through notes, drawings, and emails over the terawatt motion light one of them has. That's the one that brought me here about 4 years ago. Edit. Changed methods of communication. There was an old AskReddit question. You have an hour in Walmart and everything's free. What do you get? And it was hilarious. Unfortunately, I can't provide a link. One that comes to mind is where some Russian guy's girlfriend was having a fight with her roommate. And to retaliate the guy came in her shampoo bottle. The girlfriend said something along the lines of, "Oh, I'll be jealous because her hair will be so soft." The one about what rich people have that we can't comprehend. Pretty much explains how rich people are so extravagant. Blew my mind. The one where a guy pretended to only speak French because he was too awkward to socialize with his neighbor. That's all I'll give away. The girl hiding her socks from her boyfriend. Boy was that a laugh. I can't find the post. I've tried. But I did find the news article it relates to. I can post the link in an edit tomorrow if anyone wants it. It was on an AskReddit thread about when the popular kid cracked. Or maybe it was high school tragedies. Something like that. Anyway, the gist of the story was that the popular kid had a bunch of kids gather in the parking lot before school. Set up a tripod. Then pulled a gun out of his car and shot himself in front of everyone. It was really hard for me to read cause as I read it. I was imagining one of my friends as this person the entire way. It really had me thinking. And I have never forgot it. I saw it only a few months ago. Maybe January. And it'll be in my mind for a long time, I think. If anyone can find the post itself, a link would be graciously appreciated. The one on legal advice where a woman thought her boyfriend was drugging her. It was the psychological effects of long-term bed bug bites instead. The guy who had a dream that shattered his reality. I believe it caused serious depression. IIRC. This one. Thanks op. Which celebrity gives you the quickest boner? The answer, by the way, is Danny DeVito. Tooting my own horn here. But it took a long time for me to be okay with who I am. And eventually I was able to go to subs of like-minded people and share in my joy of the same thing. I grew up in a really home and I'm convinced I was an extrovert until I was mocked and sometimes literally beaten into silence by my whole siblings. Being mocked every time you open your mouth tends to make you not want to talk to anyone. 4chan is one thing. But to have a screen name and account gives you a little more permanent identity on the internet. Took me a while to be comfortable about saying, I like Steven Universe. It's a nice cartoon with some good positivity being taught. Or talking about occasionally cross-dressing without being treated like a piece of. It's something I would never have said out loud, but the first time someone responded without negativity I was blown away. This site has helped to unfuck a lot of the horrible my god awful family has done to me.